Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Mark. Gonna do this little mini series, maybe a couple of them, depending on how it goes. But what we're doing is soft plastic injections. I've got a few do-it molds here. These are a 3-inch chub grub that they call. It's a 4-cavity mold. I have 3 of them sitting here. I do have a few more molds that we're gonna go over the span of this. But what I'm really doing is I'm not just showing you the mold, because I can make one bait with these molds and that's it. I've shown you the mold. So realistically, what I'm doing throughout this is I'm going to be doing a little mini series on my recipe book, and each video is going to contain a different recipe and me making these things, and you getting to see what they look like. So if you guys like my recipes, take them and use them. This is going to be the first one, of course. Like I said, my name's Mark. I have 3 single tail 3-inch chub grub molds here. First of all, you need a clamp. Clamp those together, like so. Let me fix this camera a little bit. Sorry, guys. So you can see I just clamped them down here. Clamp them real good. That way, you know, the plastic doesn't squirt out. These are relatively cheap, so if you guys are looking for them, they're about 35 bucks a piece now. Other molds, these are sand cast. Not all molds are like these. Most of the ones you're going to see, they're $100+ a piece. They're CNC machines, so they're smoother. The outcome of the bait is smoother, and what I mean by smoother is the presentation of it. On these sand cast ones, you'll kind of see some ribbed and some ripple. It doesn't, it doesn't affect it. It's just not smooth. Like you would take a completely grinded down surface, and it's, these ones have some texture to it. They're okay. I use them. They work great. Caught my own personal record down the road from where I live in the river. 5-pound bass last year, 18.5 inches, smallmouth. Great, dude. That's big bass for this area. So they really work. It's just finding the fish, dude, and finding, what color, what time of year, presentation you're working with, how you're fishing it. There's all kinds of different stuff, but that's a whole other story. What we're going to be making today is called Fire Opal Blue, and this color I really like. I haven't had it around very long. I'm really impressed by it. I'm really impressed with the effects that it gives on and off the water. So I'll show you. First of all, you need to figure out a plastic recipe. All plastics you get, when you get them, they're a milk white. They're not clear. When you heat them up, they clear. Be able to see through them completely clear. That's when you know they're up to heat. They're not supposed to stink real bad. Still, you want to work in a ventilated area. I am in my basement. It is ventilated though, so don't worry. Next thing, you want to figure out a plastic recipe. Now, you can go buy straight plastic. There's a floating plastic. There's sinking plastic, there's saltwater plastics, there's different mixtures of plastics for different strengths, flexibilities, durabilities. What I do with mine is, for the grubs and grubs only, I take a floating plastic, which is just your original plastic. I add, for every 4 ounces, I add, was it 1 ounce? Yeah, 1 ounce of softener, I believe. No, I'm sorry, ½ ounce of softener for every 4 ounces. I'm trying to cut my recipes in half so I can make quicker videos. So for every 4 ounces, you do a ½ ounce of softener. Bait is still soft enough for them to bite through, soft enough to move and look lifelike and great in the water, but still strong enough you'll catch 3, 4, 5 fish out of them. So they're really great. Now, what I do is I take my 4 ounces of plastic. I already mixed in my softener. And then I'll take a ½ teaspoon of salt. I use granulated. I don't use that fine powdered stuff. And the only reason for that is I think it makes the bait look crappy. It's milky, murky looking. It doesn't, your glitters can't absorb the light, I should say. I think, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but to me, not enough light is absorbed and reflected off of those glitters that you're using. And I try to use granulated. On top of that, I don't use nearly as much salt. For me, bass go at they're like a guard dog. They're territorial. They're always on the hunt. So they're not going after smells. I do put smells on it. That's mainly to mask other things. There is smells to help, but from what I understand, their scent glands aren't fully formed. They're smellers, so they can't register it. So 4 ounces of plastic, ½ ounce of softener, half a teaspoon of salt. Stick it in there. I mix it up all before heating. That way, I hope it dissolves most of it. Usually it does. There is some chunks to the end, but less salt, less scorching too. The more stuff you put in your plastics as far as additives, like some of the big companies, they use silicon mica, they use glass powder is pretty much what it is, and I don't use this stuff. To me, it makes the bait brittle the more you add to it. So what I'm going to do is, with my microwave, it only takes a minute, so I'm just going to pause it till that minute's done. Alright you guys, after your plastic is heated up, you can see it's gotten clearer, but it's milky again only because of the salt I've added. So don't worry, if you don't add salt until after it's heated, you'll see it's completely clear. What we're going to do now is we're going to add in our dye, which we're going for a smoke color. For this, I'll do 10 drops of black. 11 drops of black for this 4 ounces. And the only reason I'm doing that is it's supposed to be 1 drop of black per ounce of plastic that you're using. But what I'm going for is a deeper look, a fire opal. If you've ever seen a fire opal, they're dark. So I went for a deeper effect. So I'm doing 2 drops per plastic plus 2. So I'm going to do 10. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 drops of black in there. We're going to stir it up. Should give us kind of a deeper smoke color. Should give us a deeper smoke color, as you can see. Well, I hope you guys can see it, at least. Hear my wife upstairs yelling at the kids. So after you got your color mixed in, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab your glitters. Now what I might have to do is heat this up just a little bit more. It's starting to set up, you can see. So I'm going to give it 15 more seconds in my microwave. My microwave is really high powered, so it doesn't take much. So we'll catch you back here in a couple seconds. Alright, so we're back. Took it out of the microwave. It's borderline too hot, so I'm just going to let it sit here for a little bit. You can see how watery it is. I don't usually go that watery, especially when it starts smoking. You can see a little bit of smoke. That's a little bit too hot, and you don't need that. Once again, 4-cavity, single tail chub grub mold from Do It Molds. Very easy to get your hands on. There's a few companies online that carry them, or you can even go down to the big stores and big sports stores. And they should carry a whole lineup of Do It, whether it be sinkers or whether it be this stuff. Go ahead, get your guys' feelers on this stuff. Check it out, especially if you haven't done it. It might be something cool you're into. Okay, so what I got here is a blue 035. You can see it shine. That's bright. I'm going to take 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm going to stick it in there. Boom. That one's done. Now I got, it's called Fire Opal. Now it has kind of like a rainbow white effect to it right now, but when you dump it in, it gets a different effect. Like it turns like fiery looking in some spots. So we're going to take 1/8 teaspoon of that, plop it right in there. That's it. Now you're going to stir them up, get them all mixed in really good, get the glitter suspended. They are, a metal product, so they do sink. They're a little bit of weight. Not much though. And I'll give you guys a quick look at this before we start shooting after I get it all mixed. Really cool color right here. I think you guys are going to like it. Now everything's mixed. Hold on one second. Alright, that looks good. So we're going to start shooting now, guys. I'll show you the finished product here in a couple minutes. Injector, this is a 3-ounce injector, 70 bucks. Pretty good. Doesn't do a lot of stuff, but if you're just shooting for yourself, you don't need a whole lot. Oops. Never do that. It's 300 plus degree plastic. I've just been doing this for a while, so I know when it's cool, and I know my equipment. I wouldn't recommend doing that though. Alright, so in here you get what's called your chute. It should already be hardened, so when you pull it out, it kind of just comes out in a blob. Boom, pull it off, set it off the side, because you want to reuse that. Whole point of do-it-yourself, is minimal waste. So here we go. Yes, it is a little bit of an investment up front, but that's okay. So buying a car. Now, these kind of give off like a really nice royal blue with a somewhat golden shimmer to it, and you'll see what I mean hopefully in the video. If not, let me know in the comments, guys. If you guys cannot see this color, I will post a picture of what it looks like. It's gorgeous. Now I don't know if the camera's going to justify it, but you can kind of see it. You can see how it glows and glares. And then you turn it, it's not much. Just kind of looks like a smoky color, but put something dark behind it, it changes it a little bit. And then you just crack your molds open, pull everything out. These ones didn't turn out. So the ones that didn't turn out, I heard it sputtering and crackling and popping, and you can see I can just squeeze that, and it goes flat. We're going to put those back in our cup there. We're going to reshoot these. I'm going to pause you guys now so we can kind of fast forward this a little bit, and I'm going to show you the ending results to show you how many pieces 4 ounces of plastic with very minimal waste will get you. I'll be back in a few seconds, guys. Alright guys, so we're back. I'm going to take you up to show you the finished goods of this video. Like I said, we had 3 4-cavity do-it-yourself single-tail grub molds. Those are from Do It molds. I told you I'd show you the waste. So as far as waste, it looks like it might be a lot of plastic. It's actually not. That's not even enough to shoot one more mold. So it's doing pretty good. If you poured those out into a hand pour mold, you might be able to make one 5-inch worm out of it. So it's pretty good. Now, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but I got them quick cooling real quick, and it's kind of what they look like. I don't know how well you're able to see that, but it's got a pretty cool blue effect, and it gets even better with sunlight. So